Hello and welcome to our latest video. This one covers our holiday in Mauritius over Christmas and New Year 2025-2026. Included will be an overview of the hotels we stayed in, a day trip to Charamel and a couple of boat trips. Let's start with Ambre Hotel on the east coast. And where better to start than the entrance and the reception areas. In a moment you'll see the resident photographer. More about him later. Okay, let's now go and explore the pool area. Our room was on the ground floor, more or less in the middle there. As you can see, our room was very close to the pool area, easy access, and also to the restaurant where we had breakfast every morning, buffet style, sitting at our favourite little corner table. In fact, we spent Christmas morning there, having breakfast, exchanging cards. There are two other restaurants at the hotel, but first let's go and have a look around the beach area. We much preferred the beach and lagoon to sitting around the pool, so we were down at the beach and lagoon most days. And what holiday wouldn't be complete without a bit of pampering? Let's go take a look at the spa. Okay, we're perfectly relaxed now, having been pampered. Let's take a look at one of the other restaurants. This one's called La Dolce Vita. And the other restaurant was called La Plage. And it was at this restaurant that we saw in the new year, 2026. Do you remember the resident photographer I mentioned earlier? That's this chap here. Well, here's the result of a photo shoot that he did for us. Time to say goodbye to Ambre Hotel. It's great staying there. And it's time to head along the beach to Lux Belle Mar. And here we are. Lux Belle Mar, coming into land now. And even though it's a short distance along the beach, of course we had our bags to get there, so we did go by taxi along the main road and arrived here at the reception area. Yep, each guest's arrival is announced by gong. And we head to reception to check in. Most people are greeted and asked to sit here whilst they wait to show us around the room, given a refresher towel and a little bit of extra space to sit and wait to be shown to our rooms. We can even do a little bit of shopping whilst we wait in the shop that's accessible through this lobby area. This is the restaurant where we had breakfast each day and most of our dinners. There is another restaurant, but I'll show you that a bit later on. In the meantime, let's have a look around Mondo, which, as you will see, just backs onto the pool, which we will come to have a look at in a moment. There's a bar area just outside the restaurant itself. Not many people there, to be honest. You'll see the pool bar in a moment, which was far more popular than that one. And this is the pool. And so to the room. We booked a room with a pool and sea view, which, as you can see now, is exactly what we got. You can see the pool bar in the distance there. Very well equipped, although we didn't actually touch any of that. And an extremely large walk-in wardrobe. Very useful. Someone looks ready to go and have a dip in the pool. So let's go and take a closer look. At the pool, that is. At Ambre we spent most of our time swimming in the lagoon, whereas at Lux we preferred to spend our time around the pool. And you can probably see why. It was beautiful. Although there is a beach near at Lux, which we'll show you soon. Before we go to the beach, let's have a wander around the grounds, having a look at the various rooms out there. A lovely little pond, as you can see. Although there were no events while we were there, I'm assuming that is for weddings. Now Dorotka is going to take us to the beach. You remember I mentioned that we had dinner at another restaurant whilst we were there. That's this one here. A little bit more about that in a while. It's called the Red Beach Restaurant, and you'll also see why it's called the Red Beach Restaurant when we show you. Well, I did promise you we'd show you Red Beach Restaurant, so here we are. And this is the table we booked for 3 occasions when we had dinner there. Why is it called Red Beach Restaurant? Voila! So another dip in the pool, looking back up to the Mondo restaurant, and there's our room, the one in the middle there, and that is Lux Belle Mar in all its glory. Beautiful beach, beautiful rooms, pool, wonderful place to stay. Before we show you our trip to Chamarel and surrounding area, let's have a look at some of the wildlife that we encountered whilst we were in Mauritius. More about them in a minute. Remember Kevin the fruit bat? And now it's time to head to Charamel, home of great coffee, the Geopark and the waterfall, and tortoises. Whilst we're looking at images of the waterfall, here's a little quiz question for you. What do you call a group of tortoises? I'll let you know in a minute. Moving on, time to head to the Geopark, where we saw the 7-coloured earth. This was formed by the decomposition of volcanic rock a few years ago, about 600 million. Dorotka pointing out? Ah, the tortoises. And a group of tortoises are called a creep. And something else we learnt: pineapples do not grow on trees. And sadly, money doesn't either. And finally, the boat trips. One on a cataspeed, one on a catamaran going from Blue Bay to Lighthouse Island, Benetiers Island, and Île au Cerf, which stands for Deer Island. And we called in there, which is called Crystal Rock. We did a bit of snorkeling there. So, leaving Blue Bay, ably skippered by this lady. We snorkeled at a few places along the way. This is one of them. That down there? Ah, a turtle. First port of call, Lighthouse Island. Can't think why it's called that. What have these guys... what are they seeing there? Yep, dolphins. They followed us along for a little while. Quite entertaining. Clearly they were having as much fun as we were. And so on to Benetiers Island, where we had a spot of lunch and a walk around the island and a bit of swimming. The second trip we did was on a catamaran, bit of dancing, and lunch was served on the boat this time. And we called in at Île au Cerfs, Deer Island. And we helped another boat that was in distress whilst we were on our way back. He'd run out of beer. And sadly our holiday comes to a close. We've shown you the hotels we stayed in, the boat trip we went on, Charamel, even a photo shoot, and of course New Year celebrations. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care and goodbye.